Hello, everybody. This is Kyrix with another episode of This Week in Kyrix. This is for the week of Wednesday, January 24th, 2018. And it, of course, is being recorded Thursday morning because, fuck it, I wanted to sleep last night. Okay, not much to really report on. Just found out from my friend that his wife is pregnant. I really had no response for that because I don't know whether to congratulate him or go, I'm sorry, because for a while they were talking about splitting up, so I don't know where they stand on that, so I just said, okay. Which, frankly, I think that was the answer he was looking for, because it amused the hell out of him. Pokemon. I did, somehow, against all odds, manage to get all of the Pokemon, all four of them, completely ready, from level 1 to level 100. All four of them. Only 3 of the 4 people showed up who were to receive them, and they went off. 2 out of 3 of them liked them. The third one didn't really have the Mega Ring yet, plus he didn't quite understand what he'd been given, you know? And we're all telling him, dude, that thing's actually pretty awesome, etc., but I had a couple good battles that day as well, so that was fun. Also, one of the guys there had been playing through Pokemon Gold on the 3DS and had asked me if there was anything I wanted out of that. And I had him hook me up with a bunch of Johto Pokemon with their hidden abilities, because you never know when you want to breed your hiddens. You know? Klyx was a thing. Klyx was a thing. We got to do my superhero team up, which was a lot of fun, by the way. I lost my ass. I went no wins that day, but that's fine, honestly. I managed to keep both of my heroes, the Flash, that is Barry and Wally, alive. And the first round, if we'd had more time, because for some reason the judge had us do fucking 30-minute rounds or some shit instead of the 50 minutes we're supposed to have. But if we'd had more time, I may have won the first round. Second round, between the terrain I was playing on and the fact that he had all sorts of bullshit and there was a ruling that I partly allowed, turns out I was completely right on, and I didn't have to allow him to do what he did. And if I hadn't, I'd have definitely won. But either way, I had fun. Now, anyone who cares, this is the real news. My hearing. Okay. Had my hearing on Monday in Tampa, which had its own fun little moment, and as my aunt locked her keys in the car once we got there. And I told her, hey, at least it was here and not on the way, because we had a very strict time limit. So I go in, and I probably spent about a half hour, 45 minutes, talking with the woman doing my hearing. Now, basically the gist of this hearing is she was completely unfamiliar with my case. You know, she just had my name, etc. She came in, I talked to her, plead my case, as it were, and then she would review my case, put the 2 bits of information together, send it on to a supervisor, and I'll have my news in 4 to 6 weeks. I think the hearing went about as well as I could expect, although I have no idea how it went. I'm just going on how I viewed it. So from my perspective, I think odds are pretty good I'll get approved. Yeah, we ended up staying there for like an extra half an hour plus as she waited for her husband to bring the spare key. And it got even more complicated because the directions were a bit off. And for whatever reason, he didn't use a GPS in his phone. So we had a lot of time of her standing on the side of the road looking for his truck so she could wave him down, but all in all, it went well enough. Worst case scenario, I'm good till at least the end of February, sometime in March, kind of thing. 4 to 6 weeks. I'm hoping for the 6 weeks. Hell, they can wait on this ruling. I'm good for another 4 months if they want to wait. I'll move to the back of the line. But worst case scenario, I do in fact have another appeal that I can utilize if need be. The good news is, upon going there, one of the first things she told me is, we can, free of charge, once give you a copy of your records, which is fantastic because my records were lost. You know, we have no fucking clue where they are. But I have them in a CD-ROM, so that's good. So at any point, if I need my records, there they are. And we can figure out all the various, all the various shit that I need to deal with. Also, I got the phone number for vocational rehab, which will help people like me on disability get whatever they need for jobs. Which I accepted this because I told her one of two things is going to happen. Either A, I'll be denied, and it won't matter if I can work or not because I'll have to. Or B, I'll get approved, and I still don't make enough money, so I'm going to get a part-time job and get what hours I can, you know. Because just because you're on disability doesn't mean you can't work at all. It just means you can't work full-time and you can't make more than a certain amount of money, etc., etc. So, with some luck, that'll be a thing. Anywho, I'm actually doing this right before I do another recording, which was I was going to do some more Shadow of the Colossus. At this point in time, I am 6 Colossi in. So I've killed 6 of them. I'm working on my 7th, or at least I will be. Because, for those who care, the method I've been recording this in, aside from the first video, which was pretty much all set up. Matter of fact, it was all set up and me trying to figure out where the fucking exit was of that damn temple. I tried to go back the way I came in. That didn't work. But, what I do is, from the second video on, I fight a Colossus, and I kill a Colossus, and that's the video. I have had a stipulation where if I can't figure out how to fight the damn thing in... Originally it was going to be 2 videos, and then I shortened it down to 1. But, if I can't figure out how to kill it in a video, I would consult a guide. So far, I have not had to do that yet. But hey, there are still fucking 10 more of these things to go. I've still got 10 more Colossi. Any one of them could be the one. Hell, they could all be the one. But, so far I'm doing pretty good. I'm honestly doing pretty good. I'm not really enjoying the game as much as I could, because the controls are fucking garbage. They are absolute garbage. They are, and I've said this, and I will continue to say this, they are the worst controls of any game I have ever played in my fucking life. And I have played some shitty controlling games before, but Shadow of Colossus really takes the cake. And it's really sad because everything else about the game is great. Although I do think the designs of the Colossi are a little uninspired because I was expecting them all to look different, but they're all the same fucking color. They're all kind of rocky. Most of them are wearing armor, and they're all covered in fur. And I'm thinking, really? This is... You can't even make them look completely different? Like, I was thinking they would all be kind of like a different species. Like, oh, this will be this big blue behemoth, and this thing might be green with stripes of yellow or shit. But no, they're all fucking drab and monotone. It's really uninspired design, if you ask me. And honestly, in some cases, if you were to put the pictures next to each other, I would really have trouble remembering too many of them. Because they all just kind of blend together. I mean, there's a couple that are unique, like, obviously the one that flies is unique. But, or at least so far, but really, yeah, it could have been better. Alright. Oh, as a side note, I want to make a slight little addendum here about my capture card. That is the old school capture card, not the PS4 one, which I still haven't gotten to work properly. But my capture card actually is, when I unplug it, it remembers my settings. So that's cool. Because with the other one, I had to fuck with the settings every time I put it back in. But not this one. So far, this one's doing real good. Which is good because I actually have a spare of it, so if this one breaks, I have one that does the exact same thing in my drawer, waiting for me. So, next week, you will have a report from me on Pokemon, Star Trek, possibly D&D, and HeroClix. So, look forward to that. Also, my mother will likely be assisting me with both the pet medication and my new phone come the 3rd, so that's something for me personally to look forward to. I'll have a little extra money and my phone will work again. And I'll have a better phone with more memory so that I can actually update my games when the time comes and maybe play some of my other ones. But more importantly, I won't have the, oh, there's low memory. You only have 500 megabytes of data. Oh, by the way, you can't install that 16 megabyte thing because you only have 500 megabytes of room. Fuck, who taught these phones how to math? Alright, bye-bye, everybody. I gotta go make some ramen before I record.